Hey, we're Wires from Greensboro and North Carolina. So you're watching me down the street.
The next piece of gear that really saved me from much more damage was my jacket. Again, even though it was going to be in the mid to upper 80s, I wore my leather. And I've got several different jackets that I wear, but when it's really hot out, I like to wear perforated leather. This is a Fieldsheer perforated leather jacket that I got off of eBay many years ago. A lot of my gear I've gotten off eBay. A lot of times people will go out and they'll buy motorcycles and they'll buy all their gear and they'll ride their stuff, their bike twice and use their jacket or helmet once, and they are for sale on eBay. I don't necessarily recommend buying used helmets, but for jackets, gloves, it's a great place to find stuff that didn't fit other people, or buy stuff for third of the cost of what the new gear would cost. So this Fieldsheer jacket I've been wearing probably for 5 or 6 years. Very heavy leather, very heavy. Built-in forearm protection and shoulder protection and a back protector as well. You can't really see it through the back there, but there's an extensive back pad in there. And I was wearing this at the time of the crash with the deer. And you can see up here in this section here, I really was riding my head. You saw the big scrape on the helmet already, and my shoulder together. And I remember that as the pavement was passing underneath me. So hole worn all the way through the first layer of leather here into the second layer of leather. Never actually got through to the shoulder pad. I did separate my shoulder. I'm sure that was probably from the initial impact. But this jacket is worn really well. Some of the features that I like about the jacket, other than just the padding, is it's got the pre-bent arms. Makes riding real comfortable. The front of the jacket, and I've got a solid leather Fieldsheer jacket that has the same features. Got a Kevlar fabric in the front of them that lets air pass through, but is very resistant to abrasion as well. It's got the zippered arms that have always worked great. And when I get a replacement jacket for this, which I'm going to probably have to now, I really like this arm pocket. It's a zippered arm pocket and built into the left arm. I think it's probably designed to be a lighter pocket. I don't smoke, but I really like it for it. I've got a key fob that's got a remote for my remote locking on my BMW, and also activates the alarm system. I slip that down in there and I can just reach over on my forearm and hit those buttons and not have to worry about keeping track of that key fob. Also would be handy if you have a knife, or if you are a smoker, great place to put a lighter as well. So that's really great. I like the cut of this collar. It's high enough where I get a little wind protection. I can tuck a gaiter or something down into it. And the Velcro on the front versus a snap. I got a pretty big neck, and getting those snaps tightened up on some of those neck pieces that have a snap instead of Velcro is hard for me. So this gives me a little bit of leeway in getting that thing snapped up. But as we go down and really talk about damage some more, right? You can see I was rubbing all along the front, on the arm of this jacket, and onto the back as well. I did flip a few times as I rolled. I've got a little bit of left shoulder damage here. Really just kind of through the surface of the leather. Did not wear through on the left-hand side. I said most of the sliding was done on the right. Great helmet, great jacket. Fieldsheer, I think I paid like 70 bucks for this on eBay. Fieldsheer's probably, a lot of people don't consider it to be a premium line, but I tell you what, this jacket and the other leather jacket I have from Fieldsheer, just top quality stuff. Held up great in the accident, right? You wear it hoping that you never have to use it, but in this case I did, and it came through for me. Money well spent. My wife also was wearing a Fieldsheer, but she was wearing a textile jacket, a mesh, right, high flow for the summer months. She prefers this over the leather. So she had this in. Also has got the built-in back armor and forearm armor, but has no shoulder armor in it. Very small anyway. It's not what I would consider a full-size armored pad. And she did slide, and one of the things that we've talked about before, some of the other jackets that she's got, is how tight they are. And she feels very constricted in them, and she doesn't really like wearing them very much. This jacket fits on her a little bit looser, right, for the summer. But what we found was that when she hit, and she remembers sliding on her hands and her forearms on the street, is that the jacket's rode up, and you can see here, and you'll see in the close-up photos, is she wore a hole in her elbow. And I think that was partially because this jacket wasn't strapped onto her real tight, and the pads moved, and I think it wore right through the jacket and actually missed the pad. So your armor, if you can't keep your armor and hold it in place, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good. So when you get a jacket, make sure that fits tight, and that when you kind of jerk on it, that armor stays where it belongs. The front of the jacket is where she also did a lot of sliding. She remembers, said being kind of face first, trying to stop herself. Did a great job. She's got some abrasions worn all the way through the coat, right? But it did protect her. Also tore out her zipper a little bit. Tore up her adjustment straps, right, to adjust the tightness around her waist. Back, she never really rolled onto her back, so her back is in great shape. But again, high quality gear. It probably didn't fit her exactly right? Probably one size smaller, and it would have probably given her a little bit more protection. Fieldsheer in both cases, high quality.
Watching me down the street. Will you take me to get some air?